To paint is in many ways like climbing a mountain. There are different routes you can take, and some of the routes will lead to the top of the mountain, and some of the routes will not lead to the top of the mountain. You have to have some kind of strategy when you paint. You don't have to know what you want, but you have to realize the mistakes that you do. It's not very difficult to realize if you are on track or not, but to be willing to realize that you are wrong, that is for some people difficult. If you like a painting that you have done, you might be onto something. If you dislike your painting, it simply means that you don't like it. It doesn't matter what other people think about it. You don't like it, and that's it. To like what you do is normal. It's very normal to love your own creation. And you tend to love it more when you have recently painted the painting. It takes time to realize that it's not as good as you thought it was. What can you do? And what can you not do? I used to work for an old lady. She called me and told me that she used paper pellets and she had a problem. She wanted to know if it was possible to glue the paper pellets on the paintings. I asked her, why would you do that? She said, I have a problem. I like my palettes better than I like my paintings. Many people working with so-called abstract paintings they are not expressing as much as they are choosing between accidents that they like and accidents that they don't like. they are like photograph. They take photographs of parts of their paintings. Some people make prints out of photographs of random things that happen in their paintings. If you go skiing and you go downhill, you have to face the hill, and you also have to deal with the difficulties. There are two things happening at the same time. You are skiing downhill and you have to deal with the hill. Same thing happens when you paint. You are faced with difficulties all the time. And you have to deal with it. Just like when you are skiing downhill. The way you deal with the painting is that you act. Very often there is not a lot of time to think when you are skiing downhill, because you are in a movement. You can't freeze the frame, stop the film. Same thing happens when you paint. You have to keep going. You have to keep painting. You don't have to consider what you do, you just have to deal with it. Your ability to deal with a hill when you go skiing is something that you have learned over time by doing it. You don't learn by speculating or reflecting. You learn by experience. When you paint, why would you use a photograph? To start off, what is the reason why you choose to look at a landscape? Many people just paint without a motive. To take a photograph is the desire to record what you see. You want to take a photograph because you want to keep the experience of the moments. Are you taking a picture, or is the picture taking you? Can you avoid taking the picture? If you collect a lot of pictures on your computer, it's probably because you like the pictures. You can print them. And if you want to, you can paint them. This is a small part of a picture I took many years ago. And this is a drawing I made based on that photograph. The drawing is not exactly like the photograph. I like the drawing more than I like the photograph. If I like the painting less than I like the photograph that the painting was based on, it defeats the purpose of making a painting out of it. This painting does not look like the photograph I took. After painting it to look like the photograph, I realized I was not happy with the painting, so I had to do something about it. So I continued painting on the painting without looking at the photograph. I decided I had to look within and see if I could find something inside of me that I could rescue the painting with. This painting I probably have to continue painting on. But maybe it's better if I do a couple of other paintings first. Particularly this part of the painting I don't like. I wanted to add something that was interesting, but it's too confusing. This part of the painting is snow, and in the photo it's only one color. But I found it boring, so I added more structure to the surface of the snow. I used to know an illustrator, and he used to start off abstracts when he painted illustrations. If he was illustrating a book, he read the story, and the first things that came to his mind was color. So he took colors and just started painting randomly with the colors that he thought would represent the story. And the characters and the scenes in the story would appear to him later in the painting. And he was looking at some of the paintings I was doing, and he realized that I was starting off figuratively, and that I ended the painting doing abstract work, and he could not understand how I could start off with figures and end up working abstract, because he was doing it the opposite way. He was starting off abstract and ending up with figures. That leads me back to my computer, where I have saved all my photographs. And I realize that the next step for me is to start off my paintings looking at nature directly or looking at photographs that I have taken. And I have to look at the photographs, and I have to take as much information as I need from the photograph, and then I have to abandon the photograph, and I have to finish the painting abstract. Meaning I have to finish the painting facing my inner life. That's what art is about. It's about inner life. A spiritual life is an inner life. If you are bored with nature and you don't want to paint